Most people think their content isn't working because of the algorithm. But after analyzing over 1,000 Instagram posts from entrepreneurs just like you, I can tell you with certainty that's not what's holding you back. I'm going to share the 5 biggest mistakes that are actually killing your growth, plus the exact 5-part framework that took me from posting into the void to building a near $1 million business on Instagram. And here's what I love about this. It's not about posting more. It's about posting with intention. By the end of this episode, you'll know exactly how to turn your content from a pretty and, let's be real, time-consuming feed into a strategic system that grows your audience, builds trust, and drives sales. Because I'll be honest, if you're doing all the right things and still not seeing growth or sales, you're not the problem. Your strategy is. You're not lazy. You're just operating without a map. You're pouring your best ideas into posts that don't know where they're going. Here's the truth I wish someone had told me sooner. Content is not a random art project. It's a system. Yes, it can be soulful and creative, but it also needs a path, a direction. When your message and your offer aren't connected, your content can look valuable and still go nowhere. But when they are truly connected, that's when your posts start doing the heavy lifting, building belief, building trust, building momentum towards the moment someone says yes. So this is your permission slip to stop guessing, to stop chasing trends, to stop living in analysis paralysis. We're going to turn those random posts into results-driven content by building intention into everything you publish. You're listening to the From Scratch podcast, the podcast for bold entrepreneurs who are done with cookie-cutter advice, done with burnout, and done with building businesses that don't actually feel good. I'm your host, Kary, a near $1 million course creator, brand strategist, and business coach for women who are ready to do it differently. 7 years ago, I hit a level of success and still ended up crying on the bathroom floor. So trust me when I say starting from scratch isn't about starting over. It's about taking your power back and rebuilding on your own terms. Every week, you'll get unfiltered stories, bold strategies, and the mindset shifts you need to build with soul, sell with strategy, and grow something that feels like you. So let's get into it. Picture this. It's 8 a.m. My kitchen is quiet except for the hum of the fridge. My phone is in my hand. I'm sitting in an oversized sweatshirt with a half-drunk mug of cold coffee next to me. I've got a calendar packed with content ideas, 3 reels and drafts, and a carousel I've redesigned 4 times because the spacing looked off. I hit post, stare at the screen, and feel that familiar mix of hope and dread wash over me. A few likes trickle in. My mom comments a string of hearts, queen, I love her. And yet nothing moves. No inquiries, no sales, just another pretty post on the grid. That day, I finally asked the question I've been avoiding. What is this post really supposed to do? Not what trending audio should I use, not what pretty templates should I use, but what belief does this build? What decision does this prepare? What next step am I inviting? So I stepped back. I stopped trying to outpost myself and started mapping. For 6 weeks, I rebuilt my approach around 3 simple rules. Every piece needed a purpose. Every message needed a person, and every post needed a direction. When I came back with that alignment, content that spoke to the head and the heart and pointed to a clear path, everything clicked. 10,000 new followers in 10 weeks, $183,000 launch, blessings on blessings. But more importantly, ease, confidence, DMs that said, I feel like you're in my head. How do I work with you? That's the shift we're making today. From publishing at random to publishing with intention. From content that looks good to content that moves people to take action. And to help you do that, I'm going to walk you through my content that connects and converts framework. It's a 5-part framework designed to give you the clarity, confidence, and tools you need to create binge-worthy content that attracts, nurtures, and converts. Each part fixes one of the biggest mistakes I've seen after analyzing over 1,000 Instagram posts. So let's get into it. Part 1, your content messaging. And mistake number 1, posting more without a clear message. Here's the trap most people fall into. They think their value is in how much they post. But if your message is unclear, more posts won't fix that. They'll just amplify the noise. Clarity beats quantity. Your message isn't about what's trending. It's about what you want your people to know, feel, and act on every time they see you. When your message is clear, you stop blending in and start becoming memorable. Our brains are literally wired to filter out excess information. If your content doesn't deliver a simple, consistent signal, your audience will forget you. But when your message lands, when it ties to both the head and the heart, creates a memory loop. They recognize you, they trust you, they stick around. I had a student who came to me posting daily tips, bouncing between topics and wondering why nothing stuck. Once we stripped it back and built her content message around her audience's real fears and desires, we didn't just get more engagement. She got DMs from women saying, I feel like you're talking directly to me. That's what happens when you anchor everything into your message. So here's your move. Write down 3 things you want your audience to believe after engaging with your content. Not facts, beliefs. Audit your last 5 posts. Did any of them build on those beliefs? If not, that's your starting point. Shift your focus from what to post to what you want to be remembered for. Part 2, your content pillars. Now, mistake number 2 is even sneakier. Treating content pillars as educate, inspire, entertain. Most people think their pillars are just post categories. That's not a strategy. That's a content mood board. And it's exactly why their feed feels like a random scrapbook instead of a clear path. Your pillars aren't about post types. They're about the conversations you're leading. Your pillars should reflect the problems you solve, the values you stand for, and the transformation you offer. When done right, they don't just fill up your calendar. They train your audience to know exactly why they're following you and why they should invest in you. Our brains crave patterns. When your audience repeatedly hears you speak on the same core themes, they start associating you with those topics. That repetition builds authority, credibility, and trust. Without it, you stay forgettable. One student came to me posting about anything that crossed her mind. Business tips one day, random lifestyle content the next. Her audience didn't know what to expect. She felt like she was spinning her wheels. Once we narrowed down her pillars to 4 things that directly tied to her offer and her audience's desires, everything clicked. She no longer scrambled for ideas. Her posts started connecting. People began engaging consistently because they knew what value she delivered. So here's your move. Write down 5 topics you've been posting about in the last 2 weeks. Circle the ones that tie directly to your offer or your audience's biggest pain points and desires. Choose 3 to 5 core pillars you'll commit to consistently showing up for. These are the conversations that will make your brand unforgettable. Part 3, your content goals. Here's where it gets interesting. Mistake number 3, posting just to stay visible. The mistake I see all the time is people posting just to stay active. They're creating content to check a box, not to drive a result. And then they wonder why their effort isn't translating into growth, engagement, or sales. Every single piece of content needs a job. Content isn't just about activity, it's about alignment. Your post should meet your audience where they are in their journey, whether they're just discovering you, warming up to you, or ready to buy. Random posts keeps you busy. Purposeful posts moves people closer to you and closer to a yes. Because people don't move from stranger to client or customer in one step. They move through stages of awareness, trust, and desire. When your content goals align with these stages, you guide them seamlessly along the path. Without clear content goals, your content becomes background noise. But with them, your content becomes a roadmap. A student once admitted that she posted daily but didn't really know what any of her posts were meant to do. They looked good, but they weren't connected to her business. Once we mapped her content goals to the stages of her customer journey, she started seeing real traction. Awareness posts brought in new followers, nurturing posts built trust, and conversion posts led directly to sales. The difference wasn't volume, it was direction. So here's your move. Look at your last 5 posts and label them awareness, nurture, conversion. Do they cover the full journey or are you stuck in one category? This week, create one piece of content for each stage. When you cover the full journey, your content stops being random and starts driving real results. Part 4, your content plan. This next one might surprise you. But mistake number 4, equating consistency with volume instead of structure. Many people think consistency means posting daily with no plan, as if sheer volume will build traction. And I mean, it's no surprise why you may believe that with thousands of creators telling you to post multiple times a day to be seen. But without structure, consistency quickly becomes chaos. And that leads to burnout and scattered results. A content plan isn't about just filling up a calendar. It's about creating a repeatable system that balances different content types and aligns with your content goals. It gives you direction while still leaving space for creativity. Our brains love reliability. When your audience knows what to expect from you, they trust you more. And when you have a plan, you conserve mental energy. You're no longer scrambling for ideas or second guessing what to post. That structure frees you up to show up with more confidence and creativity. One of my students used to post in bursts. 5 posts one week and then nothing the next. Her audience didn't know what to expect from her, and she constantly felt behind. Once she built a repeatable content plan that mapped out her core pillars and goals week by week, she not only found her rhythm, but also started seeing real engagement and results. People began anticipating her posts because they knew she consistently delivered value. So here's your move. Open up your calendar and block 1 hour to map out your content for the week. Choose 3 to 4 posts, one for awareness, one for nurture, one for conversion, and one that ties back to your personality or story. That's your content plan in the simplest of terms. Stick to it for 1 week and notice how much lighter and clearer the process feels. Part 5, your content bank. And finally, the mistake that undoes even the best strategy. Starting from scratch every single time. Even with a plan, there will still be days when the ideas just aren't flowing. A blank screen can undo even the best strategy. But inspiration needs a system too. Having a content bank isn't cheating, it's wisdom. It's having a reserve of ideas ready so that execution never depends on your mood or motivation. This doesn't make your content less authentic. It makes your creativity more sustainable. Our brains burn out on constant decision making. When you remove the daily "what do I post" question, you free up energy on how you deliver your message, not just what it is. A bank of ideas reduces cognitive load and builds consistency, which is what your audience craves most. I had a student who knew her messaging, her pillars, and even set weekly goals, but she still stalled at the posting stage. She would sit down to create and feel frozen. Once we built her content bank with 4 months of ideas aligned to her strategy, she stopped hesitating and started executing. Her content not only became more consistent, but her confidence skyrocketed because she finally had a safety net. Something she could go back to over and over again. So here's your move. Set aside 1 hour this week to create your personal content bank. Write down 20 post ideas across your pillars, mix of stories, tips, beliefs, and behind the scene moments. Keep it on a notes app or in a spreadsheet. And next time you sit down to create, pull from your bank. No stress, no stall, just execution. You don't need to post more. You need to post with purpose. Every piece of content can either be random noise or a strategic step that moves your audience closer to trusting you, buying from you, and becoming a part of your community. The difference is intention. So you got 2 choices. Keep posting random content and hoping something sticks, or take action on what you just learned and finally make your content work for you. And if you're ready to stop blending in and start building a binge-worthy, results-driven content strategy, I want you to join me inside of my free Content That Converts workshop. This isn't just another Post More Reels masterclass. This is your strategic roadmap that turns your content into your best sales tool. I'll walk you through exactly how to create a binge-worthy feed that drives real results, plus give you the tools you need to implement it. Your people are waiting to binge on your brilliance. So don't wait. Your future self will thank you. Click the link below or go to karyperry.com/content-workshop to save your seat. And let's finally make your content work as hard as you do.